Hello there and welcome to another casual educational video. This one is all about the margin of safety. It is an investment principle in which we as investors would only buy securities when the market price is significantly below the intrinsic value. And it sounds simple, and it is simple, but it is something that is used by many super investors, Warren Buffett being one of them. So we're going to take a look at why is margin of safety relevant, how we can apply it. But before that, one question that you might have is, well, I have this amazing Excel model. Of course, it has to be an Excel model. It has all of these very nice sheets and even different colors. I make these assumptions about the future that I'm very confident about. Even the analysts forecast the same. I know the business. I know how it makes money. I know how much the value is. Why do I need to incorporate margin of safety? Well, if that is the answer, basically there are 2 points to answer that. The first one is every single model has assumptions in it. Assumptions are related to the future. If there's anything we know about the future is that it is uncertain. There are plenty of external factors that could have impact on the value of a business. We have no idea what the future will bring. So that is one reason. Now, let's imagine for a second that this first reason is not relevant because our model is really just 100% accurate. The market doesn't have to agree with us. I mean, just because we have the model and the assumptions, it doesn't care about it. We could be right and just lose money. It could take a long period of time till the market realizes and adjusts or corrects the price to the level that we think is fair or intrinsic value. So having this in mind, basically margin of safety helps us to be more on the safe side than we would have otherwise been. So how can we apply it? Well, there are 3 options, and this is again the way that I see it, and you can disagree with me. The first one is use more conservative assumptions. So if the analysts are forecasting 15% revenue growth for the next 5 years, maybe it's better to use 12%. Now, if it turns out to be 20, perfect. I mean, I have not heard that anyone is complaining because their investment did too good, right? At least not yet, and probably not in the future as well. And you can use more conservative assumptions about any topic, right? At the end, it all boils down to having lower estimated cash flow. So that is one option that you have to apply this margin of safety in your valuation. The second one is to use higher discount rate. Now I have a separate video on discount rates and the difference between the weighted average cost of capital and the subjective rate. Those are the most used discount rates. Now to apply margin of safety, you can just increase it by a certain percentage and therefore you're more on the safe side. Of course, the outcome of that model would not be the intrinsic value. It would be the price that you would pay for a certain company and have a certain margin of safety already incorporated in there. Now the third approach is to ignore these first 2 options. So just keep the same assumptions, the same discount rate, but when you get the intrinsic value, demand for a certain discount on it. So if the outcome of your model is $100 a share, that is the fair value, buy it when it's below 80 or 60 or 50. Now if we go all the way back to the beginning, the definition was buy a security when the market price is significantly below the intrinsic value. But this significantly is very subjective. For some it will be 10%, for others it will be 50%. But the higher the margin of safety is, or this discount compared to the intrinsic value, the safer the investment is. Now, of course, you don't have to choose one of these options. You can also combine them. You could partly adjust in the assumptions and have a bit more conservative assumptions. And then you can also use the third option to buy it only at a certain discount. And actually, that is the approach that I use. If you follow my assumptions or my valuations, basically, you will notice that when I'm trying to forecast the future and when I'm using these assumptions, I want to be on the safe side because that could happen. But then I'm using this third option when I'm making an investment decision to be on the safe side because, again, the market doesn't have to agree with my model. And this is a relatively short video. I want to keep it short because I think this is a topic that is fairly simple to explain and to understand, yet it can have a huge impact on the investments we make and kind of help us be more on the safe side than we would have otherwise been. Thank you for following the video until the very end. If you have any questions or comments or additions, please let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.